So when we try to use this word in Indian context in a popular way, mandala generally people conceive as a circle, which is completely wrong. Already long back in 1976, a famous physicist is still alive, Fridge of Capra, has explained this, that this word mandala no way to be translated in English. Mandala is mandala, and mandala means that the three level, the existence, continuity, and future prospect, finish, then again start. It is like this. And that's why he tried to discuss Shiva Linga as mandala in his famous book, The Tao of Physics. So that concept is taken here, that how the three character, the origin, sustenance, then completion, and then again restart is going to be. And it is just close to what we call now prana pratishtha, transferring ethereal breath of one center to another center. So we talk prana pratishtha in terms of murti, image. And here is that in space, in landscape. How is that? So one example I can cite. I think many of you already gone to Rameshwaram, okay, and performed some ritual. So if you take holy dip in the ocean and then you pass through and go to see the greater linga, Rameshwara, there you find that you have to pass through 21 or 22 wells where you have to take holy bath and then you have to reach the main image. Okay, now you see replica here in Rameshwar, in Varanasi. Here also miniature form of similar type of temple is there, that is named as Rameshwaram at the bank of Rana river, not Ganga, Rana river. And in the same way, you have to pass through 21 steps and there is a small part where you have to use the water like this. This is one thing. So you can say in a miniature form that is going to represent. So microcosmos, it is going to be here in terms of microcosmos. Taking this is 16th century text that is called Brahmavai Artha Purana. That was the period of Akbar in North India. That is 1556 to 1605. The text describes that in Hindu cosmology, time is divided into four parts. The Satyuga, the age of truth, then Treta, which is related to Lord Rama, then Dwapara, related to Krishna, and then they say that era of confusion and corruption, that is the Kali Yuga. Now remember, the text was written in 1600. The text says that in the first era, that is era of the truth, so there was nothing like city. It was complete wild and natural phenomena, and three hillocks. On the three hillocks, very simple linga, nothing like any temple. The great sages going there and performing their ritual. The city was Anandavana, that is a forest of bliss, nothing like any building like that. So what we did, we taken that example and simple sketch map of Benares, and then we have tried to plot this. The description said the city that time was just like Trident. So good morning, namaste to everybody. Today is Magh Krishna 6th Shashti date, so that is quite auspicious when we are going to talk about something sacred landscape and sacred geometry. The broader title was given Sacred Geography of India, but I have taken only one point, that is called landscape geometry. The basic question when we talk about this issue is that suppose there are 4 points at 4 places, 4 temples, then what is the correspondence? Why they are there? What relationship they have? That we call in broader sense that is called landscape geometry. Sacred places, you all know that has religious sense, sacred sense, spiritual sense, and that's why in historical time, these centers developed all over the world. India is more famous for that one. So taking that aspect and then geometrical correspondence, I am going to present you one of the such cases, that what is the Indian knowledge system, how we can understand this landscape. So this is quite close to what we call landscape architectural design, etc. Okay, so let me just give you a few slides, 2, 3 slides, just giving you background so that you can mentally be ready for that. Here is a very simple question that there are 8 temples just aligned, that the longitude is about 79, and that all developed before 9th century. Still, they are not yet studied, but this is a big question that why they are aligned in a particular way, and they represent the 5 gross elements. So, simple question was this: that we have tried to plot all the 8 temples that belong to about 9th century and representing the 5 gross elements that are described in the ancient text. You all know that air, earth, fire, water, and sky. So they are about 79, only a few meters here and there. Why they are in such a way? Why the last one is that is called sky as the basement? It should have been upper portion. So these are the basic questions when we talk about landscape geometry, that how it has been evolved. So most of the works depend on University of Colorado Astrophysics Department under the direction of John Kim Marvell, astronomer, who has done a lot of work during last 40 years in India. So this is in a way just to remember that one. So that is the one thing. The second aspect is like this. So have you seen the next slide? It is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then fine. So here is 2 more conceptual words. Let me introduce. The first one is mandala. So when we try to use this word in Indian context in a popular way, mandala generally people conceive as a circle, which is completely wrong. Already long back in 1976, a famous physicist is still alive, Fritjof Capra, has explained this, that this word mandala no way to be translated in English. Mandala is mandala, and mandala means that the 3 level, the existence, continuity, and future prospect, finish, then again start. It is like this. And that's why he tried to discuss Shiva Linga as mandala in his famous book, The Tao of Physics. So that concept is taken here, that how the 3 character, the origin, sustenance, then completion, and then again restart is going to mix. This is one point. The second conceptual frame is called Cosmogram. This is the English word introduced in 1821 by James Princeton, who tried to say that most of the ancient temples of India in the basement, they have a cosmic design, and that related to direction, planetary system, and special correspondence. I will show you the slide, so I am just introducing this. What he called that, these are cosmograms. Now, parallel to this, we can have the Western tradition. Here you can find a very close link with Leonardo da Vinci. He never visited Asia, but he has also tried. So in 15th century, you can see that he had tried to superimpose triangle, square, and circle. And his very famous painting that is called Vitruvian Man, not Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is only for aesthetics, but for scientific purpose, that is called, that is the Vitruvian Man. You can see right hand side. If you can see my cursor, then very easily you can see that how the human body is represented in double form. In fact, that is male and female together. So this is just to give you an idea that in ancient India, this system developed like this. And in Western tradition, mostly credit goes to Leonardo da Vinci. So in some aspect, we have tried to compare where the East and West link together. When we let me give you a little bit of reference to this cosmogram. That cosmogram that represents a circle, that is a light phenomena, a square, that is a water phenomena, and triangle, that is the wind. This way, the 3 together, that mix to make that special number, what is called 108. You all know that most of the rosaries are almost all. Rosary always having 108 beats. So that represents a cosmic circuit. And that is close representation of the cosmos. It is just like that. You can say 9 means 8 direction, 4 main, 4 cardinal, and center. That is the 9. Then come 4, that is 4 phases of time in day and night. So day start in morning and then afternoon just going to down to 2 phases. 2 phases in the day, 2 phases in night. That's we can 4 and 3 mythical realm. That you can say heaven, earth, and underworld. This we can multiply 9 to 4 to 3, and that is equal to 108. So this is the way that this numerical system also represented in this perspective. That we can again see in another frame also again developed by Jean-Kim Maleville in astrophysical phenomena, that what he called that microcosmos, mesocosmos, and microcosmos. Microcosmos, that is terrestrial. We are at the center, mesocosmos, like Earth. And when we are talking about the star, planetary system, or peak of the hill, that is microcosmos. Then earthly, and then comes micro level, like temple, body, or a linga. So this is the perspective you can see that in the background when we are talking about landscape geometry. So let me start with this. Before that, one more background. That generally what happened, that many times Western scholars, they have tried to translate the text in their own manner. And that propagated all over the world, and that's why the real meaning got distorted. Here is one example that I will later on illustrate this, like Shiva Linga as mandala. This title has been given by Fritjof Capra. What he used to say that this Shiva Linga is not only God. This is something whole reality. It starts from evolution, existence, then involution or dissolution, and then recreating. It is just like a spiral frame. So Shiva is not only the God in a sense that rituals and religious activities perform, rather than this is a symbolic expression of the whole cosmic existence. That he again tried to say that one can see that if you put this whole linga in human form, like in the left side you can see, so here is image of Shiva and there are 18 points in the body that represent 18 characters, 18 Puranas, the ancient tale, something like that. So this is another perspective to see that you have to see the original text in their own manner rather than always based on translation or interpretation. Then you find little bit variation. And this is one of the objectives of Indian knowledge system. We have to see those texts in their own context rather than only on the interpretation basis. There are so many good interpretation also, but so many bad also. This is the way. Okay, so now I am going to start with this background. First, I will take case of Kashi. Here is example that why Kashi is called that this is the cultural capital of mini India, macrocosmic India, so many such names. There are 108 names of this city. One example is here, which is unique in Indian context, and what my teacher Niels Gosho always used to say, this is unique in whole world, that they have tried to replicate those important center, pilgrimage center, or all the sacred centers. I am talking before 9th century. So you see the map of India here in the left side, some important about 30 such sites. Of course, we have studied 212 sites. So 30 sites are plotted here on the map of India, and then that has been replicated on the map of Varanasi. It all exists. They are part of the ritual festivities, etc. Still today, very actively, they are used in different ritual purposes. So what is this process? A term has been used in English that is called spatial transposition. And it is just close to what we call now prana pratishtha, transferring ethereal breath of one center to another center. So we talk prana pratishtha in terms of murti, image. And here is that in space, in landscape. How is that? So one example I can cite. I think many of you already gone to Rameshwaram, okay, and perform some ritual. So if you take holy dip in the ocean and then you pass through and go to see the greater linga Rameshwara, there you find that you have to pass through 21 or 22 wells where you have to take holy bath and then you have to reach the main image. Okay, now you see replica here in Rameshwar, in Varanasi. Here also miniature form of similar type of temple is there, that is named as Rameshwaram. at the bank of Rana river, not Ganga, Rana river. And in the same way, you have to pass through 21 steps, and there is a small part where you have to use the water like this. This is one thing. So you can say in a miniature form that is going to represent. So microcosmos, it is going to be here in terms of microcosmos. The second aspect is that here in Varanasi, whatever we have studied that, the main priest family of that particular such important pan-India level temples are belonging to the original site. Like you go to Rameshwar temple in Varanasi, and then you ask the family, they were speaking local dialect in Hindi. And then you ask this question from where is your real native place? Then they will explain that is Rameshwar, real Rameshwar. So that is another thing that in human context also they have maintained that relationship from original to here is a abbreviated form. So this way you can say that whole India is represented before 9th century. So there is a good saying about that. If you have no time to see all the sacred important places at pan-India level, and then don't worry, come to Varanasi and you can enjoy all of them. Here is a very peculiar system. When you are performing all these rituals in Varanasi, naturally you are not going to the original place. Therefore, a question is that you can't easily get the total merit. Okay, so my teacher Neil Guscio said that is the beauty of human understanding conscience. That no way you can say you can get everything 100%. So we get a little bit less. Then we go give a donation to the priest, etc. And the priest will help to get. So maybe we can get 80% or 85%. And this is the beauty of the thing, that continuity is always maintained. Nothing is perfect in this world. Okay, so that is another example. Now, let me give you practical things I am now starting with. Here we have studied. When I say we, this is nothing like me, this is the whole team, mostly astrophysicists from University of Colorado, MIT, and that project was sponsored by the National Science Foundation in US and partly by NASA USA. That project was for 9 years, we have worked together. So I am showing you some of the results like this. Here is one example, what we call Surya, sun temples. There are 12 temples in Varanasi, miniature form, or you can say shrine. But Kim will raise this question. No, there must be a 13th. Then only we can say here is a center, and on the circumference, the rest for 12, they move like this. Then we have started the survey. Then how to know that where is the center? That was the problem. So reading the Sanskrit text and deciphering all this, then we got a sacred verse, and that says Sambadite Kendri Bhute. Most of the people simply translated it. Samba, the son of Lord Krishna, has started something here at a particular place and in the past. So Bhut means either past or ghost. That was the mistake. So when Kim will say now, please have some grammar book from the past, so we have used Panini. And then we got the sense that Bhut does not mean only past, it is just like Sanatana. Universal phenomena coming in the past and going into future, it is like this. The moment we got this, then Kim used this, his own imagination. If that is true, then magnetic force, what we have measured this geomagnetic survey, then that intensity should be highest here, because that is the center. Okay? It has been measured, all measured, and to a great surprise, that is the reality. To see the result here now. You see here my cursor is moving, that is Samba, and then you can see just like circumference, the rest are here. When we have measured that, it is found that maximum intensity is the Samba, and that is the another form, the lower degrees at outer side, and this way, that is the whole circuit is going to be maintained. Two more questions related to this. The one is that description says that first you have to go to Karana, that is a